2023 comic book goals. This is our list of accountability, what we're going to accomplish in 2023. And not only that, we're going to show you guys that we made the list in 2022. And let's talk about how we stuck to them and did, I would say, quite well and maybe even overachieved in some areas. So we're going to kick this off in 3 categories, starting with number 1, comic book collecting goals. Number 2 being, what are you going to read this year? What are your reading goals, which is my favorite. Number 3, not 4, number 3, some personal type goals. And we'll kick it off. So, Dustin, let's check out 2022 comic book collection goals. How did you do? And then what are you doing for 2023?
For 2022, my collecting goals, I didn't have a whole lot on there. I had Fantastic Four #1 Golden Record reprint, which I did achieve, as well as the record, thanks to my buddy Jeff. He hooked me up for Christmas on that. I had Fantastic Four #3 on there. I hadn't picked that up yet because it keeps dropping, so I'm just kind of waiting for it to hit rock bottom before so I can pick up the highest grade possible. Now that I can probably pick up like a 5.0 for the price of what a 2.5, 3.0 was going before, I decided to hold off on that one. Batman 189, I wanted to pick that up, but I wanted it in a specifically like super high grade, 9s minimum. And I looked, you guys were both with me, Justin and Nick, at different cons this year. I looked at every copy I could find. The book's always beat up. It's always beat up. Now, I have recently found on eBay some 9.0s that I have on my watch list. So we'll see where those end up getting to. I may be picking one of those up relatively soon. I have Batman did I say 189 or 190? Because I was just talking about 190. That's the one I was talking about. 189, First Scarecrow in the Silver Age. That's been on my list for like 3 years. Again, just waiting for the right copy. I did look at several of them, just did not want to pull the trigger on the copies I saw. And then I said I wanted to pick up an ASM 129 just to spite Justin Birch because that was on his list for 2021 and he didn't pick it up. So I said, you know what? Since Justin let us down, I'm going to pick it up this year. Well, I just couldn't bring myself to buy a Spider-Man book, so I didn't
You're
do
the only
that.
one who did not buy one this year.
I am the only one, which is fine with me because both of you probably overpaid on yours, and so I'm glad I didn't pick it up.
Don't worry. I set the new key collector hottest comic
Oh
book of the week
boy,
with the
oh
biggest
boy,
loss on a book for me all
ASM
year, but apparently it was a
129 on the
massive.
rise,
Yeah.
0.268%. Get the hell out of here. Now I
Tough.
did have I did achieve the last goal, which was I wanted to build a slab wall with my collection. Not only did I build it, but I had to rebuild it twice because I had to add a second and third layer. And I've got enough now. I could even do a fourth layer if I want. So we'll see where that goes this coming year. So that's how I did on my 2022 collecting goals. Now my 2023 collecting goals, again, very specific. I want to pick up a Detective Comics 566 and a 9.8. That's another book I looked for a lot this year. That's the Batman's Rogues Gallery cover. And DC is something I definitely want to pick up this year. I think right now is the best time to pick some of that up. And there's a lot of it that I do want. So I definitely want to pick that one up in a 9.8 because it's not overly expensive, but I think it's one of those books that if DC does pop off, you're talking about Batman's Rogues Gallery. Spider-Man and Batman have the two best Rogues Gallery, and you have all of his on that cover. I think a 9.8, and that's going to be something to have later on down the road. I have the Batman 190 and a 9.0 or higher on here. I want to pick up Fantastic Four 2, 3, 7, 8, and 10. Even if I just pick up a couple of those this year, I will be absolutely jacked out of my mind. So any of those I can knock off my list would be great. I want to add some more Superman books to my slab wall, and I'm going to get into a Superman a little later. I want to continue to build on my 9.8 Mortal Kombat run. That was one thing that was not necessarily on my list for last year, but it's always on my list, and I have made some really, really big steps towards that this year, so I want to continue on that. Continue building my TMNT Volume 4 run. Those are super hard to come by, and I'm only buying them in super high grade when I find them. So I'm going to keep doing that. And I'd like to just pick up one big surprise book, just one book that I did not know I just had to have in my collection. But you know how it goes with me, guys. When I'm at these cons and I'm walking around, and I see Sentai #2 on the wall. Justin already knew when I saw it I wasn't leaving without it. So I'd like to have another one of those moments this year that just big surprise moment of fulfillment that I got something that I didn't even know that I needed, but just makes me super happy. So that's pretty much it for me for collecting this year. I'm trying to keep it to where I can definitely have some attainable goals for sure.
All right, Justin, what about you?
So my
His doesn't really matter all that much. He just wants like Spider-Man stuff. Let's go on to Nick. I'm just kidding.
my 2022 goals were work on my Amazing Spider-Man run, specifically issues 100 to 200. I did all of that except 4 issues, and those 4 aren't anything super important. So
What are they?
Somewhat successful. I wanted to pick up some more Spider People first appearances, specifically Spider-Man Noir, Miles, Spider-Ham, and Spider-Girl Mayday Parker. And I got all of those plus some extra runs.
You got that Spider-Ham in a 9.8.
And a 9.6.
9.6. Oh, that's right. 9.6.
Yeah.
Factory defect.
I wanted to send more books to be graded. I think I definitely accomplished that. I wanted to get more books signed and graded. I think I definitely accomplished that as well.
Yes, we did.
And the last one I wanted to do was sell off action figure lines I'm not interested in and focus on X-Men figures and statues. And I think that was partly successful because I was able to sell figure lines that I wasn't bringing me joy, so to speak. So
you got rid of the
Power
Star
Rangers.
Wars and
what's that?
You got rid of like your Star Wars figures, right?
Star Wars, Power Rangers, GI Joes. They all left this house in 2022. So I'm going to say that was successful.
Same here.
My 2023 goals. I want to continue working on my Amazing Spider-Man run, specifically 50 to 99. I want to start a new Teen Titans run. I want to start a Nightwing run. And I want to pick up the following CGC books. Amazing Spider-Man #1. Avengers Annual #10 in a 9.8. This one's going to be a surprise. I want to pick up DC Comics Presents #26.
First Nightwing or
first Teen Titans, first Cyborg, Starfire, Raven. I want to pick it up in a 9.8.
Okay.
And I want to pick up a Tales of the New Teen Titans 44, which is the first Nightwing, in a 9.8. I've been reading a lot of New Teen Titans and Nightwing for the past 6 weeks. I've really been digging it, and I've been doing it every night. I've been reading it every night. So it's really sort of gotten me excited for DC books.
Awesome.
And I started reading a little bit there with you, and I will tell you, it reads, in my mind, way differently than any Marvel, or at least the Marvel I've read in that same age. Mm-hmm. It's very, very different. Everything down to the layout of the art, to just the writing style and the format of the book. It's very different to me. I don't know if you felt the same way, and that's obviously a conversation for another day, but it is exciting. Like, it has made me very interested in some of the DC stuff.
We'll talk more about that in a little bit. I have 2 more things. I want to get more CGC signed books by more legends. Specifically, I want to get a John Romita Sr. book, signature book.
Tough.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go the eBay route on that, probably.
Yeah.
Same with George Perez. Like, I want to get these signatures now.
Yeah.
And the last one, and probably the most important one on my list, I want to sell my toy collection. Like, there's a reason why I am sitting with piles of stuff behind me, because I've just started the process of getting stuff listed and getting it moved out. Toy collecting hasn't been fun for me for a while. It's felt overwhelming.
Which is so strange.
So it once that decision was made to sell it completely, a huge weight was lifted off of my chest, and so I feel good about this decision, and the money that I make from selling all of it is going to go towards funding that Amazing Spider-Man #1.
Awesome. Do you have like a goal of like when you want to pick that up by, or?
Yes, Heroes Con.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you got till June, man. You better get
Yep.
on it.
Got 6 months to sell everything and get enough funds raised to get an Amazing Spider-Man #1 at Heroes Con, because you know they're going to be at that show.
Oh yeah. Oh
Mhm.
yeah. Then you can spend the whole weekend rubbing it in Nick's face.
If I haven't already bought one by then.
He's not gonna buy one. I promise.
It'll probably be January 17th of next year before I do. January 17th,
Mm.
2024 is the year.
If they haven't gone up,
Nah.
Mm.
gonna
All right. So Nick,
crash.
what's your collecting goals that you met or didn't meet for 2022, and your new goals for 2023?
My goals for 2022 were supposed to be nothing huge. It's supposed to be very simple, nothing huge at all. I wasn't going to buy any big comic books. I had on my list Submariner 1, Iron Man Submariner 1, finish up the Invincible collected edition run, buy some manga, and that was basically it. No interest in me. And I would say I probably picked up, I don't want to say more big comic books than you guys this year, but we'll say specifically Spider-Man. I lost my mind at Lexington Con, which you guys know, and I bought every possible book I wanted outside of ASM1 and almost bought that. And I'm so thankful right now I did not, because I probably would have overspent by about 4 or 5K. But yeah, literally the only thing on my list I did not complete or work towards was Submariner 1. And technically I had it in my possession. I just gave it back because they stuck it back in my stack by accident.
Did you pick
But
up the Iron Man Submariner one?
Forgot about
I
that.
do. It's in grading.
Okay, cool.
Yep. So I think, yeah. But yeah, no, I picked up everything from First Goblin. I don't even remember what I have because
You
it's
picked up the
CGC.
first Green Goblin. He picked up the first Gwen Stacy, first Black
Hobgoblin,
Cat,
Mary Jane.
Hobgoblin, Mary Jane. He picked up
Punisher and then sold it.
Yeah, he had
Sinister
Punisher.
Six. Sinister
He had the
Six.
Sinister Six.
I think that was everything you picked
I
up.
also got Silk. There might have been a few other ones, and
yeah,
I picked up some other big books
thinking
this
like
year.
the big books like you picked up. I mean,
Yeah, and then I picked up some other bigger books too, and then improved my collection due to your pressing and cleaning too with that Bone. I mean, that took that Bone book from a very whatever book, insignificant really, to one of the few highest grades on the census. So that definitely elevated my collection, elevated immensely. But this year, I really don't have any big goals. ASM1's really the only thing, but again, January 17th of next year probably will be that day where I really pursue it. Just the way some financial things I have lined up will probably work out. So that's really it. I might buy Submariner 1, probably won't.
be a great time to, honestly,
But
now.
the only reason why I would is to complete, like I said last year, that trifecta: Submariner 1, Submariner Iron Man 1, and then my Iron Man 1. I'd like to have those 3. That may be yet, right? And I would probably do that in a 2025. Other than that, there's not a Spider-Man book left I have that I'm interested in. Fantastic Four 13, that's one I'm eyeballing, but I think it's going to continue to drop. And that's really more of a novelty book for me. I just think the Watcher is interesting and kind of the most interesting character in Fantastic Four outside of Doctor Doom to me. So not controversial opinion at all. But yeah, that's really where I'm at. Nothing huge this year. Just to see where it takes me.
You say all of this now, but as soon as you hit the show floor in Charlotte, North Carolina, every sort of thought and misconception that you had is getting thrown out the window.
Well, what would I buy?
Dude, you don't understand. You'll see. I didn't get it either.
Oh, and my other big goal is to continue buying more manga. Lots of manga, all the manga. I've talked to Justin about a few things. I got to get my Eden Zero finish up Berserk, get Attack on Titan 7th Colossal, finish up Black Clover, Dr. Stone. As of about 4 minutes ago, I think One Piece may be on the list. We'll see. But then I also want to continue these collected edition comic books. I have the Star Wars stuff, finish up the Spawn, even though I have the Spawn compendiums, keep buying those. But then I also want these new trade, or not trade, the hardcover ones that they just released. I have the 5 of those on the way and continue that and finish up the Spider-Man. I have 1 volume left of the Spider-Man I need. So, yeah. And then maybe sell it all and go for an AF-15. What do you guys think? Yeah, that won't happen.
Yeah, I'm not thinking that's going to get you there with a bunch of manga and
There's a
collected
lot of
editions.
money sitting back here with these omnibus, though. They're not cheap. All I need is for a few to go out of print, okay?
I was
Because
going to
these
say,
omnibus collectors are
you got to
nuts.
end up with some whales before people's going to care, though. With
For
organic
real.
book prices, it's going to be hard for you to be able to do much.
It'll be fine. But yeah,
All right.
that's really it for 2022 and 2023.
All right, so let's move on to reading goals. For 2022, my reading goals, I wanted to read some of the Batman New 52. I did that. I read a pretty good amount of that and really enjoyed it. I wanted to read more of the Fantastic Four. I just kind of dove into it at the end of 2021. I spent a lot of time reading FF this year. Wanted to read the Captain America Omnibus. I have not jumped into that. I wanted to read some X-Men, specifically the Mutant Massacre. I did not do that. I did not read Injustice, Kingdom Come, Crisis on Infinite Earth, and I still haven't finished the first Secret Wars because I read very slow and I can only read one thing at a time because if I start focusing on too many things, then I don't remember what happens. So I've spent literally all year not all year, but the last probably 4 months, I've read nothing but Fantastic Four. So that was last year's reading goals. Now this year's reading goals is much smaller. I want to finish the first 100 issues of Fantastic Four. And from there, I don't know if I will want to continue on forward with that. Just depends on how the writing is going at the time. But I definitely want to finish reading all of The Walking Dead. I picked up almost all of the hardcover omnibus, which is all in the black and white. I've been back into reading that the past couple of weeks. I am absolutely loving it still. That may be one of my favorite things I've ever read. So I want to get all of The Walking Dead finished this year. And then I want to find some interesting Superman reads. I feel like Superman being who he is, I'm like, man, there's got to be something out there that I can read that'll get me excited about Superman. And I feel like Superman is just so underutilized and under loved, or however you would put that, because of lack of writing. So I'm going to reach out to some folks and find out where I can find some great Superman stories. I want to read some of the Submariner run, his first solo run. I'd like to get into that. He was one of my favorite characters throughout the Fantastic Four. Absolutely love that character. So I want to read some of that. And I want to find some more Batman to read. Definitely want to keep adding on to my Batman knowledge. He's probably absolutely my favorite DC character. So I'd like to read some more Batman at some point this year.
Well, I will tell you, Superman is going to be highly disappointing.
Yeah, I was thinking I would start out with the Death of Superman storyline and see where that goes. I don't know.
Justin, have you ever read any Superman?
No.
There's a reason. I applaud you for it. I think it'll be exciting. I hope that you find it and love it. I don't want this to sound like that's dumb, because that is not it.
No, I'm not. I understand the task that I'm undertaking here for sure. But like I said, I know enough people that read enough DC and have enough knowledge in DC that I'm hoping that someone is going to be able to point me to something that I'll really enjoy. So we'll see.
Superman is like DC's Spider-Man for Marvel.
Absolutely, both
one of
characters.
the most beloved characters, but they have done nothing of value in the last 20-something years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Controversial opinion. Not really. I mean,
not really. I don't think
can say
anybody
that.
would disagree with that.
I've read every Amazing Spider-Man book ever. So I think I can say that.
All right. Well, this is the part where these two fuckers are going to just talk about manga for an hour. So you guys go ahead and just fast forward for like 20 minutes.
I'm leaving that in.
I unfortunately did not write down what my reading goals were for 2022. So I'm going to say that I accomplished all of them. My reading goals for 2023, it's very simple. I want to read New Teen Titans and Tales of Teen Titans when that starts. Finish the second volume of Nightwing. I think it's about 140 issues. And I want to read some One Piece. I love One Piece. I want to get back into it.
Right on. Simple enough. Simple enough.
Mhm.
Just read more. And I think that should be everybody's goal, is to read more.
Yeah.
Read
Even
more.
if you just collect comic books just for the sake of collecting them, you're never going to go wrong reading these comic books.
Yeah.
Now, for me, I set a very lofty goal this year of reading all the Amazing Spider-Man books. And as notated 4 seconds ago, I accomplished that pretty quickly and did it about 3-4 months early. And then I started with Fantastic Four. I have not finished. Four, but I'm going to continue that. I'm also going to finish up. We're reading the New Teen Titans by George Perez and Marv Wolfman. So I started that with Justin in December, and then we went to Disney World and never, continued from that point. But I do think it's really interesting, so I want to continue that, and then I want to continue reading a ton of manga because I it's so easy to read. Like it's like a guilty pleasure. It's like you have your main course diet of like chicken and rice and broccoli, and then manga is like your little Debbie's. You know what I mean? It's just it's not really good for you. Doesn't really have a whole lot of value. It's just entertaining, and I enjoy it, and I can consume a lot more of it than I can chicken and rice. You know what I mean? So manga for me, honestly, like if I were to be very specific about my reading, it's finish up Fantastic Four. I need to do that without a doubt. Possibly pursue Daredevil, right? I haven't decided, but I'm thinking Daredevil. But I think ASM and Fantastic Four being notched in the belt of reading all, I think that's pretty huge. I don't know about X-Men. So I'm kind of up and down about what I'm going to do there. And as far as manga, I'd really like to go ahead and finish reading up Berserk, but that one's so dark that it takes a bit of time. But other than that, I mean, maybe find another couple of really good stories because I've read so much this year. So maybe drop your recommendations down below.
We
But
still need
reading,
to do that. We still need to do that thing where I have you read something that I like that you don't really think you would care for, and you pick something for me, and we read it and talk about it. I think that would be something maybe we should try to work on this year too.
and I wouldn't even give you Dragon Ball Z. I would give you something else. I'd probably give you Zom 100. What do you think, Justin? I think you would like that one. It's zombie.
It would be hard for me to decide between putting you onto Walking Dead or just having you read strictly just Kyle Higgins run on Power Rangers. Like anything
So I will
past
tell you,
that is not worth even looking at. But the Kyle
I've,
Higgins run, the way you like storytelling and
yeah,
stuff, I think you would like that.
I've read the first 12, 15 or so issues of Walking Dead, so that wouldn't be new to me. So keep that in
Okay.
mind. So I just
You
want
want
to
to
read more
read
manga.
backwards Japanese books. We get it.
I was just gonna see how long I could keep him looped in. I want to buy more box sets of manga.
And put them where?
Exactly. That's what I was talking to Justin. I have no more fucking room on these shelves. I have manga
Like, where the
sitting on
fuck
top
are you
of
gonna put this?
omnibuses back here, like in between the gaps. You can see right here, actually. You can barely make it out, but that's like 2 or 3 manga stacked up on top of my Star Wars. There's another set right here you can't really make out.
Yeah. So for our personal goals for 2022, mine were all pretty much channel related. I said that I was hoping we could get, I was trying to set a reasonable goal of 7,500 subscribers. We didn't even hit 6. So you guys kind of suck, but I don't guess it's all your fault. It's kind of on YouTube and the algorithm and all that. I don't know. I wanted to renew interest of our viewers. Well, we basically didn't put out any content for the last 6 months of the year, so definitely failed on that one. I wanted to update my studio equipment. I picked up a new camera from Nick. I picked up new microphone, picked up new lights. So I definitely was able to do that. So that was great. And I wanted to get our TikTok rolling and get some interest there. I was able to gain 400 or 500 followers on TikTok this year for us. So was able to get that rolling a little bit. And that's something I want to continue to try to work on through 2023 as well. My personal goals for 2023 are a lot different, though. I want to continue to grow Probably the one thing that I'm most proud of that I accomplished in 2022, which was the comic book chiropractor and my pressing and cleaning business that I started with some awesome help from some really good people that I met this year. It just all came together perfectly, and I cannot express how much I enjoy doing that. And my absolute goal in life right now is for that to be how I make my living and not have to get up and go to construction sites anymore. That would be the greatest accomplishment I could have personally right now. So we'll see how that goes. I want to get back to posting more content consistently on our YouTube channel, and so that's going to take some teamwork here. So hopefully we can make that a goal together and figure out what it is you guys want to see, and put that out. There are some things we tried this year just to kind of say, you know what, we people don't believe when we say, like, if you just go and do this kind of content, you're going to get the views and the subscribers. And we did it for a few months, and then we had the viewers, the Babylons were going nuts, but we just weren't enjoying doing the content. So we definitely want to get back to doing the content that we're passionate about, and find the people and the viewers who enjoy that. So that is something I'd like to do. I'd like to meet more people that watch the shows, people that we talk to and communicate with on a regular basis, that are in this hobby. So that would be something I'd like to do through going to more conventions, which I also plan to do. And in 2022, I lost right around like 61 pounds, and that's something that I stay pretty consistent on, and I'm still working on. So I would like to drop, I don't know, like another 45 and get down to around 185 pounds by the end of the year would be a really good thing. So that's definitely a goal. It's not something we've ever set as goals here, but we're kind of doing like a different take on our personal goals. And the last one is something I did not do this year, and I don't think I did it the year before, but I'd like to try to take my family on at least one, small vacation somewhere. And so spend some time with them, take them to the beach or wherever, just something we haven't done in several years. So if I can I think that's all stuff that's attainable, stuff that I can do. So we'll see. We'll work on it.
So my personal goals for 2023, and I'm being absolutely 100% serious when I say this.
If you say you want to be in more videos this year, I swear to God, I will walk out of here right now.
No, I don't want to go on a vacation with my family.
Well, Heroes Con, they're going
Does
to
that
be
mean
there.
does that mean that the con
Lexington?
schedule is going to change a little bit then? You're going to try to, because that was what was holding you back from going to some of the shows with us this year. So
No, that's not changing. My con schedule is set.
I think we kidnap him.
yeah.
So that's number one. Number two, I wanted my beard to be fully gray by this time next year. The way my children are treating me at night, there's a good chance that'll happen. Three, I want to sell all of this. All of this needs to go. It's got to be gone. The shelves, I'm selling the shelves, and I'm going to do something that I never thought I would do. Once the shelves are out, I think I'm going to pull those graded books out of the closet, out of their boxes, and maybe hang them on the wall.
Wow. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've tried to make little digs at you all year in videos, like left and right, and not really name you or that it was towards a specific person, but it was multiple times, and it was all directed at you every time. I know you probably didn't notice, but
well, A, I didn't notice because I don't watch the videos. B, collect your way.
All right, so my goals for 2023 are super short, sweet, to the point. Really looking to elevate the content, not so much in total volume, but in quality. I think, we've done the volume game, hasn't been the greatest, but let's work on more quality and increase a bit of volume from last year and really elevate at that level, but also focus more on short form content because that is just the way of the world right now. We don't have much of a choice. So I think short form content across all the platforms will be key and critical for the future success of the channel. So that'll be a big goal, and just finding a way to bring value, that very specific value add that maybe is something is missing out there. I think that's really where I think we want to shine. Not the same old content everybody's doing, not the same content we've been doing, something to really bring home value and really find that niche. So if you guys know what that is, let me know, because I would love to know, because I still don't know. But that's really it. Just focusing on those and seeing where it takes us this year, right? Constantly refining, elevate. I think this year what really screwed us is we had a lot of really, I don't want to say tough luck, but the DC thing kind of getting scrapped kind of just really put a halt on our momentum. Jack over at Whatnot screwing us over really, I think, was another momentum hit for us. And I think it was just difficult to recover from that point, because we had all of these things we were super pumped about, and then it was just out of our control both times. That's it. I think that's it. I think it's pretty solid. We'll see how this goes next year. Again, great accountability lists. I would say these are super helpful in my mind, and hopefully you guys, maybe if you watch this, you have a channel, maybe post one too. I think it's really cool. And worst case scenario, in 5-10 years, you can go back, click on these and say, wow, I did a lot of really neat things in 2022 and try to do them in 2023, and I either succeeded or failed. Who knows? But guys, you're the best part of Two Brothers Comics.
And as always, collect your way.
Goblin.